Good evening, teachers. 5 more minutes will wait and then I'll start with the session. Teachers just want to understand in that how many of you are already handling 9th and 10th EI or 11 and 12 EI, ma'am? You can put it in the chat as well, ma'am. No issue. Okay, class 9 and 10, Shibangi, ma'am. Thank you. Handling 10 and 11. Thank you, ma'am. 9th and 10th. Thank you so much. Okay, handling 10th this year. Okay, ma'am. Fine. So in today's session, I will be talking about how we can use machine learning algorithm in that random forest and under clustering, I'm going to use k-means clustering algorithm. So you'll get to know if it is a complete project, if you have a data set, how to make it with the help of a machine learning algorithm. I'll be sharing the code as well with you all. Thank you, ma'am. Meanwhile, if you have any other queries, features, you can let me know. And requesting you to throughout the session, if it is in mute, it will be better, ma'am. And if you have any queries, you can, at the end of the session, no, I'll be addressing those queries as well. In grade 11 AI, do we have to show programs for types of data? Let me check, ma'am, your chat. Ma'am, in grade 11, you will be having the basics of Python. So types of data you will be having. I think in grade 11 and 12, you are having no coding tool like Orange data mining as well as per the new curriculum. Okay, teachers, I'll start to share my screen and then we'll start with the session now. If you have any queries, as I said already, I'll be addressing those at the end of the session. Can anyone confirm? Is my screen is visible, teachers?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Thank you, ma'am. So in today's session, I will be discussing about the basics of machine learning, and we are going to see through the real-time project how to use these machine learning algorithm. I have used random forest classifier and k-means clustering algorithm. So those who know already, those who are teaching already in grade 9 and 10 AI, you might be aware about the machine learning types. So in AI, we have two types. One is the rule-based and another one is the learning-based approach. So under learning-based, we have two types, which is machine learning and deep learning. And today's session, I'll be covering about machine learning. In machine learning, we have a three types of algorithm, which is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning algorithms. So for the supervised learning algorithm, you need the labeled data. I will show the example of what is labeled data and non-labeled data as well. For the unsupervised learning algorithm, you need the unlabeled data. So when you have unlabeled data, you have to go for the unsupervised learning algorithm. And third one, which is the reinforcement learning algorithm, it's entirely different. That will be like a agent um, interacting with the environment and learning through rewards and punishment. For example, a self-driving car uses all the three types like supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning as well. Especially in self-driving car, reinforcement learning they will use to teach the machines how to take the decision. In the simulator, they will check if it is taking a correct decision. If suddenly some person come, what to do? If the machine is taking a correct decision, it will get a reward. If it is taking a wrong decision, it will get a punishment like a negative points. In that way, it is going to learn through rewards and punishments. So mainly we are focusing today about supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Can anyone tell me, is it a labeled data or unlabeled data set, what we are having on the screen? You can put it in the chat as well if you know anything. Labeled data, some of you have answered. It's correct. It is a labeled data. As you can see here, let me use the pointers. It will be easy for me. As you can see in the training data, I'm going to give a X, which is the input variable, and Y, which is the target variable which my model is going to predict. So this is called label data set. So when you have a label data set, you are going to use one of the supervised learning algorithms. Darshana ma'am, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you, ma'am. Now next, this is another example of data set. Can anyone tell me, is it a labeled data set or unlabeled data set? You can put it in the chat, teachers. Yeah, yes, Shivangi ma'am, it's correct. It is again a label data set. So here we are going to use gender, age, and estimated salary, and whether these people are purchasing a product in online or not. So it's kind of a classification. 0 indicates not purchasing, 1 indicates purchasing. Here also, these will be X. Your gender, age, estimated salary will be the input, which is X, and your model is going to classify. This is the Y is the target variable. So again, you have a label data set. So you will be using one of the supervised learning algorithm for classification as well. This is also supervised learning. Now this, can anyone guess, is it a labeled or unlabeled data set if I want to group it based on the purchase history and other details I wanted to group? Is it a labeled or unlabeled? Unlabeled. Some of you written as labeled. Okay. In this case, what my model is going to do is my model is going to group it based on this. For example, if it is the age is 25 and annual income is 35 here, and then spending score, that is the monthly spending, right? That score is 75 and they are mostly purchasing about electronics. So my model is going to group it based on the patterns it's finding out. For example, some of them earning is less. For example, here you can see earning is less and their spending score is more. And which kind of a product they are purchasing. Accordingly, my model is going to group it. Here I have, Dhanlakshmi ma'am, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you, ma'am. So in this case, I am going to give my model X, only the input data, right? Input variable. There is no target variable which I'm giving to my model to train. This is called unlabeled data set. So when you have an unlabeled data set, you are going to use the unsupervised learning models whenever you have unlabeled data. Hope it is clear up to here, teachers. This one, you can take a screenshot of it. Like under supervised learning, we have regression for prediction jobs and for a classification algorithm to classify, for example, classify the fruits and vegetables or classify the customer based on the purchase, all this. And under unsupervised, you have clustering, dimensionality reduction algorithm, and association rule learning. Similar way, under reinforcement learning, we have these type of algorithm. You can take a screenshot of it. So in today's session, we'll be discussing about random forest and which is a supervised learning model. And I'm going to use k-means clustering from the unsupervised learning algorithm. Please take a screenshot of this as well, teachers. In real world application, which are the places classification is working or regression algorithms are used. So this also please take a screenshot of it. Moving to the next. So I'll start with the project now. So you know in the project cycle, we have different stages. And can anyone put it in the chat, those stages of project cycle? What is the first stage of project cycle? Yes, it is
Problem
problem.
scoping.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Richa, ma'am. Correct. Someone else also told. Yes. Then comes data acquisition. Second stage is data acquisition. And third one is it is data exploration. Correct. After data exploration, we have modeling. Yes, correct, ma'am. After modeling, we have evaluation. After evaluation, we have the last will be deployment. Thank you so much, teachers. So here, first one is identify your problem and what is the aim of your model. That is the first stage. Here, I have a problem statement that if any viral outbreak is there, the government agencies and the healthcare agencies they should be able to predict which is the high risk areas, right? So that they can allocate the resources accordingly or respond accordingly, or any policies they can make, any rules they can put it accordingly, or vaccination drive can be started in high risk areas first. That can be possible, right? So the healthcare agencies and government they should aware of high risk areas and medium risk areas, low risk areas based on the environment data or a health data. So this is the problem statement we have. Any viral break happen, how the healthcare agencies immediately can take a action. If they know the high risk areas only, they can take a action. So we are going to create a machine learning model which can predict the particular area is the high risk or medium risk or low risk. And I am going like in this particular project, we are going to group all the um, like medium and high and low risk based on the risk factor as well. So for this, I have used one of the data set here. Let me show this data set to you all. So first we'll see the data, how it is looking like. Meenakshi ma'am, can you put it in mute? Meenakshi ma'am, kindly keep your mic in mute. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, hope the data set is visible for you, teachers. Can anyone confirm in the chat? The CSV data file. Can someone confirm in the chat? Is it visible? No one is able to see the data set? Okay, I'll be sharing the screen again, teachers. Size is small. Yes, ma'am, I'll be sharing after the session. No, I'll be sharing the data set with you all. But is it visible, right, ma'am? The data set is visible, right? Okay, fine, ma'am. So just to give an overall idea that we have in like each place. For example, we have region type like urban or suburban or rural place, population in that places, median income, elderly percentage people, child percentage, hospitals per 10 like 100,000 people, vaccination rate. So these all the data I'm having like temperature, humidity. I have a healthcare data and the environment data as well with me. So based on that, I'm going to predict whether the particular area is under medium risk or high risk. You can see that target variable is outbreak risk category, which my model is going to predict it. So this is that data which I'm having with me right now. So I'll get into the project now. I hope my Jupyter notebook screen is visible, teachers. Thank you, teachers, for confirming. So this is the Jupyter notebook which I'm using. You can use a Google Colab as well. Before starting the project, please upload the CSV file in the Jupyter Notebook or in the Google Colab so that you can see in the home page, you can have this, like you will be finding this upload option. You can upload the CSV file so that there won't be any issue when you're giving this path. So necessary packages I have imported pandas to handle the data in a data frame format. Data frame is nothing but it's similar like a table format. I'm going to store the data, but it is having lot of benefits like easily you can analyze the data, you can read and write the data, everything. And NumPy to handle arrays and some of the mathematical calculation part. And Matplotlib, we need it for data visualization, creating some kind of a charts we need it. So first step is I'm reading the CSV file with the help of pandas. Panda, the nickname, you can assume as a nickname. I have given is Mary.
ఇదా మా అమ్మ
Can you put it
ఏం
in?
పట్టుకుంటువా
Okay. Now reading the CSV file with the help of pandas and then storing that value and under the variable called data. So now the data frame is created and I'm printing the particular information. You can all see what are the data are there. This is the first step in our project. I have installed Seaborn as well. It is one of the package again for creating a different kind of a charts. Compared to Matplotlib, I have more variety of charts in the Seaborn. That is why I have installed Seaborn as well. Now, as soon as you convert the CSV file into the data frame, the first step you have to do is understanding your data. So for that, you are going to use the info method, which will give a clear idea like how many total number of records. 10,000 records I'm having. You can see 0 to 20 column I'm having. That is to overall 22 fields or columns I'm having. If you look at this particular information, whatever given, every field is having 10,000 record except vaccination rate and healthcare. That means these fields are having some null values. That null value is nothing but some empty cell it is having. So before training your model, we have to make sure the data is uniform, clean the data that we have to do, which is data pre-processing, we'll call it as. So we have understood the problem statement in the problem scoping stage. We collected the data set in the data acquisition stage. And next one will be data exploration. In data exploration only this pre-processing will happen. So in pre-processing, first I'm finding out how many null values are there. So I have identified in these two fields some of the null values are there. Null is empty cell. So first I have to fill this. Since these two are numerical field, one of the way to fill the null value will be finding out the average of that particular field and then filling it. So for that, I'm going to use fill now function. This will help me to identify wherever null values are there. That will be replaced by the average value of particular column. Hope fill now function is clear to everyone. This will help me to replace the null value with the average of the particular column. Similar way, healthcare accessibility also I have filled. I have replaced the null values with the average of that particular column. And then I'm checking, is there still any null values? So when I check the sum of null value in every field, it is 0 now. So now we don't have any null values in any of the fields. Next step of pre-processing will be finding out the data type of each field. Here, if you notice, except region type and then outbreak risk category, remaining all the numerical field. Only these two are the categorical field. So usually machine learning algorithms cannot understand the categorical data directly. You have to convert into numerical data type. So this is the another second stage which we are going to do it. How to convert? Give me a minute, teachers. Now, how we are converting this into number, numeric field, how we are going to convert. So we are going to use some of the methods to convert. Before getting into conversion process, first we have to understand what are the values are there in those fields. Under region type, I have suburban, urban and rural. Three categories I'm having. This is called as the nominal data. There is no kind of a ranking, right? And second, sorry teachers. Now, in the outbreak risk category, if you notice, medium risk, low risk, and high risk is there. This is ordinal data, which I have mentioned in the file as well. Ordinal is nothing but there is some order, some ranking, low, high, medium in this way. So if you are having an ordinal category, you are going to use a label encoding method to convert into numerical value. If you have a nominal categorical, then you are going to use one hot encoding method to convert into numerical values. So before that, I want to show you how the conversion will happen. I have it in another file, which I want to show you all. If you see here, this is the first one is the example of label encoding. When you have an order, this is the way it will give a values. Like based on the order, it will give 0, 1, 2. This is the way conversion is going to happen from categorical to numerical. If you have nominal data like apple, banana, orange, there is no order, right? In this way, in this, what happens? You are going to use one hot encoder. How it is going to convert into numerical data is it will create three different columns because I have three fruits here, so three different columns. For apple, first column is 1, remaining all 2, 0. For banana, again the middle column is 1, remaining will be 0. So this is the way one hot encoder is going to convert into numerical fields. Let me share the screen again. Hope my Jupyter notebook is visible again, teachers. Can anyone put it in the chat so that I can go ahead? Okay, thank you, teachers. So what I have given here, I have used label encoder and one hot encoder. These two are under pre-processing module. So from scikit-learn package under pre-processing module, I have imported two classes which are label encoder and one hot encoder. Then first I will take up label encoder class and I'm assigning to a object. Then what I'm doing it with the help of label encoder, I'm transforming all these values into numerical value. And those value automatically will be stored under outbreak risk category. Then again, one hot encoder I'm initializing with the object. With the help of one hot encoder, I'm transforming all the region type into numerical value. Now, in these two lines, I am going to give some names for the new fields. I will show you where I have given. Now, if you see, when you are using one hot encoder, I told you three columns will be created, right? So for these three columns, the new column name should be there, right? Like region type rural, region type suburban, and urban. So this is what we have done in this particular place. Uh, Getting a feature name, and that you are going to put it in the data frame and delete the previous one where we have only region type, right? Suburban, urban, that you are deleting, and the new three columns will be added in your data frame. So now the first 10 rows I'm retrieving with the help of a head function. You can see this is the first 10 records. And next pre-processing step is there any duplicate value in my data? I checked with the help of duplicate function, sum of duplicate value. It is 0. I don't have any duplicate record. Now I am checking again the data type of each field. All are in the either interfloat, that means the numerical fields only. Now almost my data is ready for training. The two more steps are there before pre-process, like before modeling. So I would like to show that as well. Now in the original data set, if you see, some of them are 27, 65 like this, and some of the data will be in thousands. For example, you can see median income in 59,000, population density in 1,926. So this I have to scale it. Scaling is nothing but if the model is thinking like one field is having higher value like 1,000, 2,000, 59,000, another field is having like 2, 3.5, the model may understand whichever column is having higher value, that column is more important. So to avoid that, we usually scale those features. So how we are going to scale it or scale those features? Whichever column having a value 0 to 100, you no need to scale it. Whichever is having more than 100 values. So those fields you are going to take and then scale those particular columns. So for that, again from the scikit-learn package, under pre-processing module, standard scaler is a class. I am going to use it. So I have given whichever field I wanted to scale it, which are having more than 100 range of values. And then that particular standard scaler I am assigning to an object called scaler. Again, scaler.fit transform will help me to change these values in the scaled format. You can see now after scaling first 10 records with the help of head function I have retrieved. All will be now everything will be between the 0 to 100 range. So now scaling also done. Now what is the next one in the data exploration is, sorry, a second. Okay, in the next step, I have used one of the visualization technique, that is box plot. I have used it to understand the data, because in the data exploration after cleaning you will analyze it so that you can get some idea about the data, right? So in this box plot there are some middle line which is the average, which indicates the average, and you can see 0 indicates a high risk, and 1, the gray color, indicates the low risk, and the last one indicates medium risk. If you see each of the feature like population density or vaccination rate, for everything I have created a box plot to understand how these features affects the different risk category. If you see in box plot, all the median are almost like close to each other except two of them. In this box plot you can see which is healthcare accessibility score. When healthcare accessibility score is higher, that means that area is a low risk area. That I'm able to understand from the box plot. And one more is public transport usage. When it is high, high risk is more. That also I can able to understand. This is called as EDA. Usually we will be doing EDA also in the data exploration stage. Give me a minute, teachers. EDA indicates exploratory data analysis to understand the data we are doing. I have created two different visualization for my understanding. So I have explained only box plot for you all. Now pre-processing done and data exploration also done. So before modeling, I wanted to check in the training data, how I am having the training data, whether I have a balanced class. For example, in my training data, I have a medium risk, a high risk, a low risk, right? And I have already told you 0 indicates high and 1 indicates low here, 2 indicates medium, right? So in this, when I check the count in the training data, second class is having 9,000 record. First class is having 538 record. And the zeroth class is having only 7 record. This is my training data. So when I am using this kind of a imbalanced data, what will happen? As I told you already, for maximum time, my model may tend to predict everything as a class 2 because that is what the data set is more, right? Second class data sets are more. That record is more in my data. So we should not have an imbalanced data like this. So we have to make it balanced one. So for that, what I have given, like I have installed imbalance learn package. Under that, you are having two different varieties. One is oversampling, another one is undersampling. In a simple way, if I want to say, oversampling is nothing but, for example, class 1 is having 3 record, class 2 7, class 3 is 20. Oversampling, what it does is, it will increase all the records, means creating some synthetic records like some kind of a little variation it will make in the values and creating more records. So it will increase all the classes, zero class, first class and second class, and make it little balance. That is oversampling. Undersampling is it will reduce the records to a lower level, like all will be in 3 4 2 in that way. So in this case I am going to use the oversampling technique. Under oversampling module, I'm going to use this particular SMOT, which is one of the class which is used for oversampling method. Here, the SMOT is nothing but synthetic minority oversampling technique, the full form is. So for oversampling, we are going to use the SMOT method here. Okay, now I wanted to show you what is the training data and testing data is here. If you understand that, it will be very easier for you to go ahead or understand the further steps. So I will show the PPT and then explain you the further training data and testing data here. Hope my PPT is visible now. If not, please you can unmute and tell me. Sure, ma'am. At the end, I will show the code whichever you want. For sure, I will show that once more. Now, in this place, please understand, teachers. If you have any doubt in this place, please let me know now itself. So I already told you I have this is a sample like only 14 records. I have put it as a screenshot here. In this all the fields from region type to till risk score. This is X. That is my input variable. This is X, which is the input variable. My model is going to predict the outbreak risk category. This is only my model is going to predict. This is called as Y, which is the target variable. X is the input variable and Y is the target variable. Now, whenever you have a record, always you will split into training purpose on records and testing purpose on records. So what usually happens in the industry is 80% of the record they'll use it for training. Remaining 20 they will keep it for testing. In our case, for an example, I am telling you in this case, for example, I am using the 10 records, first 10 records for training, remaining 4 for testing. Now, this in the first 10 record, This all are called as up to risk score. This all are called as X train. I will call it as 1 second. Okay, this fields with the values are called as X train. That means X training val fields. And this values where we are having all this right for the first 10 record, this is called as Y train. That means Y training data. So hope X train and Y train is clear. Now, this fields along with the values, this I'm going to use it for testing purpose, right? So up to here, up to the risk score. This is called as X test. That means the input variable which I'm going to use it for testing purpose. And this value will be your Y test. This is called as Y test. So please make a note of this, teachers. X is the input and Y is the output. Again, we are splitting into training and testing. So X train, Y train, X test and Y test. Hope this is clear. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to train with the X train and Y train. And then we are going to test it with this value. I will give the X test value. My model will predict it, right? Whatever prediction is there, I will compare with my Y test and check whether my model is predicted correctly or not. This is the one we are going to do it now. So I'll move back again to my Jupyter screen. If anyone having a doubt in this, please let me know. Unmute, you can unmute and ask here because this is very important part to understand. Give me a minute, please. Now you can see here under X, all the fields will be there except outbreak risk category. So I drop the last column. Remaining all the columns will be there under X. And X is nothing but a input data. Under Y, what will be there? The output, which is outbreak risk category. Now I am going to use train test split method. So I have imported already under model selection module, train test split method I have already imported. What is the purpose of train test split is? It is going to split the data into training and testing. I have given here test size is 0.2. That means 20% of the data I am going to use it for testing purpose. So that will be automatically saved under X train, Y train, X test and Y test, which I have explained you just now. So before I'm training the model with the data, I already told about SMOT, right? So with the help of a SMOT, only the training data I'm increasing. I'm making it as a balanced data. So where is my training data is there? X train and Y train. This data with the help of a SMOT, I'm making as balanced data. And then you can see before SMOT, it is 10,000 records. After SMOT, the number of records are increased in X. And under Y, only one column, right? And then we have 22,000, nearly around 22,000 records. That means all the records are increased because we have used the oversampling method. Now the real training is going to happen. We done the pre-processing and we have selected exploration also done. Now the modeling stage. Random forest classifier is one of the supervised learning model, which will help me to classify the data in a better way. And why I choose the random forest classifier? It because it is suitable for larger data set and it will reduce the overfitting as well, which I have given here already as a hint for you all. Apart from that, to check for testing purpose, I need classification report and accuracy score. That also I have imported from scikit-learn under metrics module. So now I'm going to train my model. This particular random forest classifier I have assigned to a object called classy. Now my model name is classy. That with the help of a fit method, I'm going to train my model. As you all know very well, my X train and Y train is saved under X resample and Y resample. Hope it is clear up to here now. A second, please. So my X train and Y train, those values already I have stored under X resample and Y resample. So that X and Y, I'm training my model. So this fit will help me to train my model with the training data. Okay, now can anyone tell me what is the meaning of test in this place? As per our data set, I have 14 records, right? Which records will be there under X text? Anyone able to guess it? You can put it in the chat. Last four rows, exactly, Merin ma'am. 20% of data, exactly. Especially X test. I'm not talking about a Y test, only the X test. The last four rows, exactly, teachers. Thank you so much. So last four rows, imagine I'm just telling us the last four rows, easier understanding only. That means the 20% of data. X test I'm giving and I'm using the predict class to predict the output now. That prediction will be stored whether medium or high or low, that will be stored under Y prediction variable. Now I am going to compare whatever my model predicted with my actual result, which is stored under Y test. Okay, my model prediction, I'm comparing with the actual output, then I can understand what is the accuracy of my model, which is 0.99. Uh, as you all know very well, the accuracy is between 0 to 1. So it is 0.99 is very close to 1. That means the highest accuracy. My model is able to predict it with a high accuracy. And to understand the data better, I have given the classification report as well. You can see precision recall FN score for each of the class as well here. FN score also it's 1, which is the highest one. And I have created confusion matrix as well to understand the prediction. You can see 0th class number of records are 1. First class total number of records are 109. Second class I have 1890. In that, if you see, I want to show the Word file so that for the easier understanding. In this, you can able to see clearly how the prediction confusion matrix done. Prediction and actual exactly predicted that one record is there, it is correctly predicted. Same way, the next class also, there are 109 records predicted as correctly as class 1. Class 2, if you take it, around 1890 records were there. In that 1888 records correctly identified as class 2. Only 2 records is mistakenly identified as class 1. This is about the confusion matrix. So classification we have done. We have trained the model and we have checked the accuracy testing also done. Now, before going to deployment, I wanted to show you how I'm going to use the clustering model here. Based on the outbreak risk category, I'm going to group the data as well. So I have used from the clustering module, k-means clustering algorithm I have imported. And then I have given the number of clusters are 3. Clusters are nothing but the number of groups are 3 here. I have created a new column called data cluster, and then with a k-means model, I'm going to group it. So what I have given, these are the fields I have taken for grouping purpose. So now what the k-means clustering does, it will see the values in all these fields. It will understand some pattern in it and group the records according to the pattern it is identified. And I have told already 3 clusters. So I have printed and shown here 0, 1, 2, 3 clusters it has created. Now, whenever you have, one second, sorry. whenever you do any clustering model, we don't know the like what basis it is the clustering done, right? What?
Rathika ma'am,
Yes,
sorry
ma'am.
to interrupt you.
Yes, ma'am.
We can't see your Jupyter notebook. We
Uh,
are able to see only your Word document where you
okay,
giving
ma'am.
us the confusion matrix.
I'm sharing again, ma'am. 1 second. Is
Yeah,
it
thank
visible?
you.
Thank you so much, Minu, ma'am. Is it visible now, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. So I have imported the K-means algorithm here, and I have mentioned as three clusters. And these are the important fields. Based on that, I am telling my model to group it. And since I have given three cluster, it is predicted three clusters, 0, 1, and 2. Three clusters done. Now, in what basis the clustering happened? That if you want to understand it, again you have to create a EDA. In this place, I have used the heat map because I have already imported Seaborn library, which you all know. Now, under heat map, what I have done is first I have found out the average value of each feature in this way. Now, if you see zeroth cluster, first cluster, and second cluster, these are the three clusters what the model done. Now, I wanted to see in what are the patterns or how these parameters or these features affected the cluster and what basis the cluster has done. If you see the average value in these three clusters, population density is almost very close to each other, the values, the mean value, average value. Vaccination rate also, healthcare also. If you see like public transport usage, there is a difference in between the clusters. In the cluster number one, it is more public transport usage is more. And cluster number zero, compared to one, it is little less. And the cluster number two, we have around 20. Similarly, elderly percentage also there is a variance. So I can understand how the cluster happened maximum way. Elderly percentage and public transport usage, these features affected the clustering more, right? So this you can understand when you created a ED and see it. So we have done the modeling and we have done the testing as well. The last one is deployment. Uh, from some sample data I have taken here, as you can see here, some data I have taken, and then same classy, that is the model classifier model I have used, right? Same model I'm going to give this all the data, so it can predict which risk category it is, either 0 or 1 or 2. It is able to predict it. And you can see whether risk category is 1, in the sense it is a low risk area. Up to here, the complete model is done, teachers. Thank you, teachers. If you have any particular doubt, you can put it in the chat.
Rathika ma'am,
Yes,
let me tell
ma'am.
you, you said that you've been following me for 2 years, but
Yes, ma'am.
you have explained things so well. I could not have matched that. The
Ma'am,
pre-processing part, I think you've done it so well.
ma'am,
And let
it's
me tell you, I'm working on a chapter right now on pre-processing. So I was studying that. And you
okay.
explained, so I think I don't have to study anymore. I can write the chapter now. So thank
I'm
you so much.
You made my day, ma'am, and it's a pleasure and honor to have you in my session.
No,
I'm
no,
feeling
no, no.
really blessed.
The honor and pleasure is completely mine. And you have really, and these are two difficult concepts, because I'm studying, so I know. So, and you explained them so well. You came down to the small nitty-gritty parts and you explained them. So, really, very good. I mean, you've done a lot of homework. So, that shows. So, really good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and all the teachers who all join. Really, it is like spending your time in my session. It's a pleasure for me. Hopefully, I did not waste your time. I would have given some, like, I have given my best. Hope you would have learned good concepts which can help you in teaching. Thank you for the opportunity. And Shibi ma'am is not able to join. And my sincere thanks to Shibi ma'am to give this opportunity to share my knowledge with other teachers. Recordings we will be sharing, teachers. Thank you all for joining. If you have any other query, please let me know. Yes, ma'am, we will be sharing the recording. Sure, ma'am, we will share the recording and I will share the data set also in the group. Yes, ma'am. If you can see this similar whatever we discussed today in the cookbook also, AI cookbook also, similar way many projects are there. So you can use this idea and you can download some data set from Kaggle, simple machine learning algorithm. Yes, you can ask your students to do. Sure, ma'am. I'll try to forward the code as well. Yes, Marin, ma'am. Train test split. I'll explain you once more. Yes, ma'am. I'll try to share the dataset and Python code in the group. Mangala, ma'am, I'll explain the confusion matrix. Sure, ma'am. If I get a chance, sure, I'll try to take more sessions. Ma'am, Marin, ma'am, can you tell me which part you needed so that I can explain that? You wanted to understand what is X train, Y train part, or which one, ma'am? You can unmute and tell me so that I can explain you.
Ma'am, that train test split method, you were referring to that method, right?
Yes,
This
ma'am.
one actually. Yes, ma'am.
This
Yes, ma'am.
train test split, what happened? This X and Y we are taking. S is the input variable, right, ma'am? And Y is the output variable. And you have to specify the test size as well. So 20% of the data, it will consider as testing data for the testing purpose. And then here what happens? Automatically this will be splitted and assigned to these variables, which is X train, Y train, X test and Y test. Automatically this method will assign it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It was an
Thank you.
excellent session and you were explaining each and everything in detail.
Thank you so much, mate. My pleasure. And Mangla ma'am, you have asked about confusion matrix.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What is the doubt in this, ma'am?
Ma'am, how
Uh,
that values comes in the matrix
okay.
and what is prediction in actual two and prediction one there is two. How it
Okay.
comes?
Okay. Can you able to see my word screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, whenever my prediction and actual both are matching in that place, it will be here. It's one, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Wherever it's not matching, it will become zero. Now, for class one, my actual and prediction both are matching. This is class one. This row is for class, sorry, this field is for class one.
Okay, ma'am.
Or you can mention a 0, 1, 2 in this way. And when we talk about, sorry, ma'am, I wanted to clarify here. This is 0 and this is 1 and this is 2. You can mention in that way as they have given. So, zeroth class correctly identify as 0. That is only one record was there. It was identified correctly. Now, when you take number 1 class, that is also when prediction is 1, actual also 1. Correctly identify all the 109 records as first class. That means number 1 class. Now, when we talk about class 2, what happens? Whenever there is a my actual that class is 2, my model also predicted 2,880 times. But whenever there is class 2, two times my model predicted as it is a class 1. That means a wrong prediction. That is why if you see in the code, my precision value, class 1 precision value went low. It is not 1 because some of the class 1 is mistakenly identified, right? That is why.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, teachers. I will end the meeting here and I'll share all the other materials.